Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmerced.com, and what I want to do today is talk about how several liberal policymakers, what they want is to discourage work. And the logic behind it is they figure that if they can lower the amount of workers in the labor force, that the nominal dollar amount of wages that these workers can command will be higher because there's less of them. Makes sense, right? Lower supply, higher price. So this is why they're big fans of things like a lot of different types of welfare programs, universal basic income, on that grounds. They're thinking, okay, well, this will make it where people can afford not to work, and there'll be less people competing for the jobs that exist, and they can get paid more. Yay! Problem is, this is wrong in the grander scheme of things. Okay, and what I mean by that is, if you only think that the only thing that matters is the nominal amount of wages that people earn, then you've missed the point. Because what's the point of wages? To buy stuff, to pay for things. And basically, the purchasing power of your wages has to do with productivity. Okay, so imagine that no one made anything, but I printed out a $100 bill and gave it to you. What can that $100 bill buy? Nothing, because nothing was produced. There's nothing that exists to be purchased with that $100 bill. So in that case, well, it's worthless. But let's say me and 99 other people all built a widget and we have the $100 bill. What can the $100 bill? The $100 widgets, if we are all willing to take that $100 in payment. So bottom line is, money is worth, in real terms, the goods that people are willing to give you in exchange for it. But those goods don't magically exist. People have to work to produce them. Now, while our production processes have become more efficient and less labor intensive, the fact that there's less people out there seeking work also means that there is less people finding new things to produce. Okay, and it's not just, widgets, but people who, look to offer services. Okay, if people are saying, hey, you know what, I don't need to work because I have X income, because, universal basic income is generous enough that I can afford not to work. Well, maybe otherwise they would have provided some sort of service, and now that service doesn't exist, and the purchasing power of your money has really been reduced. You may be paid more, but it buys less stuff because less stuff exists. And other goods that might have been produced that are just not going to be available because you discourage people from creating them, because those people aren't seeking an income. They aren't seeking some sort of productive capacity to generate an income. Okay, on top of it, they are using that universal basic income or that transfer payment to buy actual goods. So not only that, but you have less people making stuff, contributing to the pool of stuff that's buyable by the money, but you have also more people consuming the stuff that is buyable by the money. So even if people's wages increase, the purchasing power of their wages will decrease over time as the pool of buyable goods keeps shrinking, because you've discouraged productivity, because you've discouraged work. Again, it's not about this dollar amount of money, it's about what it can buy and what are the incentives that replenish that supply of goods and services, or expands that supply of goods and services. So that's why I think that's a very short-sighted policy. Yes, on its face, it's plausible. Yes, less people working means higher nominal wages, but your real purchasing power will continue to drop because you're destroying the incentives for replenishing the goods and services purchasable by that money. It's just bad policy. You want all hands on deck. If we're all producing more stuff, regardless if it's even the most basic of services, the most basic of goods, that means there is still more stuff our money can buy. So your money goes further. It can provide you with more because there's more things you can turn those dollars into. Okay, so yeah, it's fairly, I think, straightforward. So just want to say that again. There's other people who believe the exact opposite with policies like universal basic income, where it'll encourage work. And I think a lot of the differences in opinion is differences in what people view the amount of the universal basic income to be and the structure of that universal basic income. If you haven't seen my video, my recent video on the universal basic income and the flat tax, that's sort of what I think is workable. far as incentives and structure and whatnot. Overall, again, I'm not a UBI proponent, mainly for a lot of the reasons I mentioned in this video, also for the fact that it's a transfer of wealth, and I generally prefer not to transfer wealth if it can be avoided. So my name is Alex Merced. If you like this video, please share it. Tell your friends about me, the podcast, all that good stuff. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and thank you very much for watching.